Do you remember that last year, what we gave out for the state test in terms of the game rewards?
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
Do you remember why?
Yeah, I do.
Welcome to the Gamify Education Podcast.
I enjoy this. This is where I thrive, is in this moment of like, okay, you got to turn it on and you've got to perform. And I love it. This is
Everybody who has watched this on YouTube knows which one is the performer and which one is the behind the scenes.
Yeah. All right. Are you? I
am. I'm actually going to.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Oh, he got very excited. He went real hot on the mic there. I'm going to leave that in there.
I am very excited.
I can tell.
This one,
yes. The last episode that you said you were excited for was our 8 Heroes episode. And that one you were having true fun on. And this also is attached to 8 Heroes. This is the 8 Heroes Powers episode.
Yes. And I mean, I don't know. I am very excited for this because this is something that we created. We created these original 8 heroes.
Yeah.
I did the pixel art for them. We sat in the shop one winter night, I think it was.
Yeah.
And we were trying to figure out how to make these characters like come to life more in this fantasy world.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want them to be the same character.
Right. We had originally had this game where the characters moved from a normal version to a better version of themselves, and then they had powers as the better version, and those powers were just given to them when they became the better version. And that game was so complicated. We were just talking about it with my son. We had like dodge and resistance and all this nonsense. And when we changed to this new version, we're like, we want to keep this idea that these characters are special somehow, but we need a mechanic to make that happen. And so we came up with what we called the battle die. And the battle die, they could purchase up to 3 of them. And they can purchase these powers and put stickers on them. And as they're rolling in the game, those powers would be activated if they had a hit. And so we have, over the years, refined it and boiled it down to this, where each of our 8 heroes has 6 powers that they can unlock. And now it's 1 die. They get 1 battle die, and based off of a die that they're rolling, or either they're rolling the battle die with their character's dice or a different colored D6 during their battle, it unlocks these powers. And it makes the game, it adds that extra level of the game that just makes it so much more fun when these characters aren't just, skins in a game.
I don't think we would be promoting it if it was just the same character with a different sprite.
Yeah. I think kids like that. They do. They like just seeing a character with a different sprite. There's a level of fun to that, but this is more fun. Way more fun. It was so fun to see last year when we battled at the end of the year with our 5th grade tournament, to see kids start to use their powers in a real strategic way and realize how, like, oh, I need to save this one for this time. Oh, I'm coming after this person. I have my 1/2 HP. When should I use that? I need to use that early in the battle because it's not as useful later in the battle. Like that kind of thinking and strategy that was coming out with these powers, and understanding, like, if you use them appropriately and strategically, you can win this battle.
Like, one of the things that we've been doing, though, and we've been we're very conscious with this. We don't want to overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
But we also want teachers to just, like, do you. Like, if you can pick up on something, like, you want to do it, great. Go for it. Use our characters, use whatever it is. Like, we have these different iterations that we've done. Like, what you were just talking about was another iteration.
That's right. That's different than what we even did. And we have a video that's going to come out. It might come out before this podcast. It might come out after. But it's just you and me playing a battle with our 2 characters, me, the mariner, and you, the alchemist.
So whether you use the battle dice or you use, like, the one-time ability that you get to pick, or you're going to use kind of the cards that we're going to show today, like, now all of a sudden these are the same powers, but they're just different ways to use them.
All right. I told myself I wasn't going to do it.
I know.
But here we are in another graphics-heavy episode. Honestly, the juice was worth the squeeze. Because when I went back and watched that episode on with the video, the ability to see that poster pop up it's backwards, right there. It was like, okay, this was worth the time and effort.
You got a perfect setup.
I know.
You did so good, Mr. Lamberson.
Oh, thank you. So this is going to be a very graphics-heavy episode. If you are listening on Apple, we don't have the videos up on Apple. If you're listening on Spotify and you're not watching the video, because the videos are on Spotify, I suggest watching this one. Like, if you're in your car, I suggest watching it. We're going to do our best to just walk you through this verbally, but it'll be so much better if you watch this one.
Very good.
I'm going to use a lot of graphics. So let's start with, we're going in alphabetical order. That's what you decided at the start. I agree that we have to have a way to decide how we're going to go through the characters. And alphabetically, the first character is the Alchemist. And that's him in my hand right there.
And that was always me. I was always the Alchemist. We actually initially started with just six heroes.
Six
and
heroes.
We added, the Alchemist was one of the ones we added to make it 8 heroes. And are we going to just go through all the powers, or are we going to try to describe what it looks like?
No, there's no need to describe, because this is what the Alchemist looks like. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a crazy scientist guy or girl. The mad scientist is the look that we were going for.
With a potion bottle.
Right. An alchemist is, like, the root there is like chemist. Like, an alchemist in ancient times was a person who was trying to turn non-gold metals into gold. That's like the traditional roots of an alchemist. But that is not what our character is doing here. Our alchemist is someone who is like taking that chemistry idea. They're mixing potions or things like that. That's the idea behind the Alchemist. Do you want to describe?
Yeah, so there's 2 things we have to first of all talk about. With each of the 8 heroes, every hero has one special ability.
Yeah.
Like their star power.
Their star power is what we call it. It's their special ability.
And then they also have just the 6 normal.
Right. And some of those 6 abilities are shared between different characters. Whereas their special ability is only this character has this ability, and a lot of times those abilities are very powerful. They have ongoing effects most of the time. I think the majority of them are ongoing effects, where it's like once it's turned on, this ability is like, this is an important aspect of this character. Let me tell you how many kids realized the Berserker's ability is powerful when we were playing this game last year. They're like, oh, I should have been the Berserker because their special ability was so good. But this is a well-balanced game. I'm going to throw that out there. They just saw that it was good because they had never really experienced, like when they first were experiencing the special abilities, they're like, that's so cool. The Berserker is one of my favorite special abilities just because it is so cool.
Okay.
Can't wait to get to that one.
Very good. Can't wait to get to B for Berserker.
All right.
But keep in mind that as we're describing these do go in order.
Yeah.
And that's important because it matches up with the levels, and they can only unlock these abilities at a certain level.
So, for instance, the Mariner's special ability is unlocked as the very first lock, and the Alchemist's the second lock. And what that means is their special abilities are actually a little less powerful than other characters' special abilities, but they're better early in the game, basically. Let's start with the Alchemist.
All right. So
the first lock on the Alchemist, the first ability that you can unlock, the first power that you can unlock is
just the 5. So
now, I can't tell you how many kids were like, "What does this mean?" And
really?
I'd be like, "This is not that hard to understand." So what is just the 5?
So every icon that has this gray background with a number in it is just an additional amount of damage that you do if you roll. So first of all, remember that if you are rolling, your attack has to hit with your hit or miss die.
Right.
So if you roll a 5, but your attack missed, well, obviously the 5 misses as well. So any number that has that gray background with a number in it, you get to add that total to the amount of your battle dice.
Okay.
Or your attack dice.
Right. So if you hit and you roll and you're able to activate this power either through a separate dice that has the 5 on it or using that special colored dice that has, and you roll a 1 on that color dice, then it does an extra 5 damage.
Yep.
And so you roll, let's say you have 3 d6s and you roll your 1, which is a junky number on that special die that's a different color, and then you roll 2 6s on the other. What you're really rolling is 3 6s then.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 plus 1 plus 6 plus 6.
And that's how it works.
Well, it's just explaining it.
All right. The next ability on the alchemist. We need to go through these a little faster.
That is the star ability.
Yes.
The star power. Okay. So for the alchemist, it's an ongoing effect. And it says if the alchemist misses an attack, then their foe takes 8 damage.
8.
8.
When did we come up with 8? Because I feel like we've squabbled back on.
Well, you told me, 5, but then you went to 10, and at one point you said, well, let's just go in the middle.
Yeah, but I feel like 10 because we landed on 10 because you have to have it activated for it actually to work.
I do think it's going to get too powerful at the beginning of the year.
I think 8's fine. 8 and 10 are close enough.
So remember, though, with a star power, you have to hit on your star power before you get to use it.
But once it's hit, you hit and you get that star power unlocked. Then it's unlocked for the rest of the match. But we'll get there. There's one condition in which it's not unlocked for the rest of the match.
But then that would mean the alchemist would be doing damage every turn.
Even if they miss, they'll get 8 damage. I like 8 as well because part of this fun of this game is getting kids to do mental subtraction. Yeah. And so 10 is boring, 5 is boring, 8 is good mental subtraction skills.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, look at you. All right, next power.
9.
So that's just an added 9 damage if you roll that.
That's pretty good.
That's actually a lot of damage. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Okay, next one is stun.
Yeah.
All right. So this one works as you roll the stun. That means that the next player on their turn, they have to roll their hit or miss die.
Whoever you stunned. So if you're in a 4v4 battle where everyone's battling each other, because these battles don't have to be 1v1. You can have 4 people all battling each other and like a battle royale. So you can declare, I'm going to hit Chris, I'm going to attack you, and then if I roll a stun, you're stunned. I don't just get to go out and stun everyone.
Right. So what that means is that the opponent, before they actually roll all their dice, they have to roll their hit or miss die. And if it's a miss, they skip their whole turn.
Right.
If it's a hit, okay, they're not stunned.
Right.
Then they re-roll everything.
So essentially, they have to roll 2 hits in a row to do anything.
Yep.
And if they it's okay. That's all you need to know.
Next one.
Yes.
He's got a poison potion.
Ooh.
Explain that one.
Poison is at the beginning, whomever you attacked and then poisoned, at the beginning of their next turn for the rest of the game, unless they are cured by there's another way to cure people, but unless they're cured, they lose 5 HP. Just at the beginning of their turn, automatic 5 HP gone. Let me tell you, the poison is underrated. Right. The poison is so... it's one of those things that doesn't feel like much, but it stacks up and the kids, 5 HP, and it really is. It's a great ability. All right, and the last...
I got a clarifying question here.
Sure.
What if the alchemist poisons and then misses? Do they do their 6 or their 8 damage if their attack missed, which would actually be 13 damage?
Say that again. I'm not quite following.
All right, so
because you can't poison unless it's a hit.
Okay, so let's say 3 turns ago I poisoned you.
Yeah.
And now, 3 turns later, the alchemist rolls and it misses. You get 5 damage done because it's your turn. No. And I would have gotten 8 if I missed mine. So it would have been 8 and then 5.
Yeah. So on the alchemist's miss, you got your 8 damage. Anyone in the battle gets that 8 damage on the miss. Unless because the alchemist has to declare who they're hitting. So then so if you're the alchemist and you're hitting me, or you're trying to hit me and you roll a miss, then I take 8 damage from that, but then it gets to my turn and I take 5 for being poisoned. So the poison
actually is your turn.
Right. It's on the player who is poisoned's turn. That's when it takes effect. And that's an important gameplay, that's an important game mechanic, because it's not always, you're not just getting poisoned randomly. It's happening at a specific time, because you could technically get healed before it comes around to you again, or cured before it comes around to you again. And that's important to note. There's strategy to this. All right, last one for the alchemist.
Right. So this is one we had to change because the alchemist was underrated.
Underpowered.
Sorry.
So weak.
He was a little weak because I didn't want my character to be, you just made him the best one.
Yeah, but he was real weak. We were playtesting this, and it was bad.
We're not going to spoil anything here.
Sure.
Okay, but now he's got a really good one.
Yeah.
So for the 6th power, right, which is the best power anyone can have.
Right.
At the end of the year or 2/3 of the year,
you have to be at level 60 to be able to even access this power, which is so high.
So high, which makes it such a good game.
Right.
Because nobody who's a level 40 actually gets this.
Right. That's it's such good game design. Patting ourselves on the back here, but it is good game design.
All right. So the alchemist cures themselves of being poisoned and gains back 10 HP.
Yeah. So it's like a double effect. And 10 HP is significant in this game.
Every time you roll.
Yeah. So if you're poisoned, then that's gone. And that's so clutch. But not only that, it's not an and or, it's an and the HP. Mm-hmm. So that's the alchemist. Let's move on to the archer. The archer used to be the most popular character in this game when back in the day. But kids these days, honestly, the berserker,
what are they picking?
The berserker and the alchemist. I think they like
alchemist.
Yeah, I had more alchemists chosen this last year than any other character. Maybe I don't know.
I thought the mage was always the most popular one.
Anyways, all right. The archer. I'll start us off here. The archer's first ability is just a +6 damage. So if they roll a 1, they get an additional 6 HP damage on the person that they're battling.
If their attack hits.
Yes, of course. We're going to just make sure that is from here on out. We're assuming that this is always if their attack hits. We don't need to say that every time.
Well, we might have to.
No.
Later on.
Okay.
All right. Second.
Yes.
When poisoned, the archer's foe takes 5 damage at the start of each of their turns, just like the alchemist. Yeah. This time it's a poison arrow.
It's a poison arrow, but it's the same as the alchemist poison. It's poison. Poison does the same thing across this game, regardless of who's poisoning. So it's a 5 HP. All right, the next one, I'm getting the boring ones.
Sorry.
The next one's a 7, just an additional 7 damage, which is, again, it's not just a 7. That's an extra D6 plus 1. That's a good amount of damage.
All right, next one is their star power.
Yes.
And this one could really swing a game.
Yes.
All right, it says, so this is an ongoing effect. If all the foe's attack dice are greater than 2, then the foe's attack misses the archer.
Yeah, it's like they took a wild swing.
They just missed them.
And even though it said it was a hit, it's like they were able to
dodge it.
I was going to say parlay it.
No, the parlay is a different one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This one is just
a dodge.
Yeah.
Can you do that again? Okay. So the archer dodges if all of the foe's attack dice are greater than 2. And so think about early in the game. If they only have 2 attack dice, that's very likely. It becomes less likely as the game goes on. But man, what a fun power. All right, the next one. These next 2 are actually the exact same, but they are so powerful that they get to do it twice.
But there is an order to it.
Right. You can only do it once. Mm-hmm. For each that you have unlocked. You can't, this is a one-time effect. You can't do this multiple times. You can't. But anyways, it's the archer steals an attack die to use. So if you have 3 attack die, I take 1, and I had 3. Now I have 4.
And I'm down 1.
Yes, that is a pick 6 on attack die. But it's only used because this is the 5th ability, you have to roll a 5 to unlock it. Mm-hmm. If you roll a 5 again, you don't get to do it again.
Right.
You'd have to have the 6 unlocked and then roll the 6 to be able to do it twice. But man, what a great power.
So yeah, the 6th power
How fun is that one?
They get to steal the 2nd die. Now there is clarification here. If they roll the 6 and they haven't stolen the 1st die, they don't get to steal. It has to go in order.
Okay, I think that's good. That balances it a little. It's so powerful. You wouldn't want them to just have basically a 1/3 chance of stealing a die if they have it unlocked.
And you can't ever steal their last die.
Right. They have to have at least one. Okay, the Berserker. I'm excited for this one.
All right.
This is one of my favorite characters. Honestly, just because it's so cool. The Berserker has a giant battle axe. You can see it here. And I don't know if that's actually where it will go, but I like doing that. The Berserker has a giant battle axe. The Berserker is just so cool.
So this is where the clarification comes from.
Okay.
It says, the first power, the Berserker can re-roll their hit die.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, it can't be on a hit. This one actually only happens
on a miss. But if you roll a 1 on your special die and you miss, then you can re-roll that hit die.
Yep.
Okay. And that's why for this game it's important to roll all the die at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you like that better.
Yeah.
All right. I like how you've built the mechanic in to force that gameplay.
I have really thought this game through.
Oh, I know. We've put a lot of time into this one. All right, the next one. Oh, I'm glad I got another one of these. +5 HP to an attack. So +5 damage to an attack.
All right, 3rd power. The Berserker gains back 5 HP, but this cannot exceed the starting HP, so heals themselves.
Yeah,
5.
this is just a straight up heal, like a potion, but just gains 5 HP.
The next one's good.
Yeah, the Berserker inflicts 15 damage on their foe, but does 5 damage to themselves. I love this power because this is the idea of like you swung so hard that it kind of rang your bell. This is so cool. Like it is such a heavy hit, but you gotta give a little to get that hit.
So you could actually end with both people being knocked out.
Yes, you can end the battle on a draw if the Berserker doesn't have their special ability unlocked.
Right.
Which my favorite.
Okay, go ahead. You've been talking about this the whole time.
Okay, so the Berserker special ability, once it's unlocked, and this is something that we had the kids have, like special ability cards that they flipped over once it was unlocked.
It was just use these.
Yeah, but you could just use the cards that we have here. And then when we knew that, their abilities unlocked once that card was flipped. So if they have unlocked their special ability and they roll a 5, the Berserker, when they get down to 0 HP, and this goes back to like the lore of a Berserker and the actual like what it was in human history, but it's like this person who's impossible to kill. When they go down to 0 HP, the Berserker gains 10 HP. Additionally, their next attack is an automatic hit. So they come back with a big swing, basically, and it's a guaranteed hit.
So they get knocked out,
and then they come back and just straight up get an attack. That is so fun.
One-time effect.
One time. Yeah, they don't get to be knocked out. They're not a zombie.
Right.
They don't get to be healed indefinitely. That would be way, way overpowered. I mean, they'd be invincible then.
And this next power, too, could do so much damage.
Yes.
Especially if you rolled this like the first
right.
round.
And that's why this is the 6th power in their arsenal.
So it says the Berserker cuts their foe's HP in half.
Yeah.
You do the attack dice damage first, and then you round down.
Yeah. And so if this is early in the match and that's rolled, this is like game over. And it gets less effective the longer the match goes. Because if you got 60 HP and it gets cut in half, that's massive. But if you got 20, it gets cut in half. It's not really swinging the match that much. All right, we ready to move on to the healer?
Yep.
All right. You know, the healer is always one that I thought is kind of the junkiest character that we have, but I will say kids love being the healer, and it does well in the game. I just personally don't like the healer, and I think that's more of a personality thing. There's a personality type out there who loves being the healer. I'm more of a damage doer, I suppose.
See, one of the things that I'm not sure we've ever talked about, but when we made this new mechanic of just one of the attack dice is a different color.
Yeah.
That, instead of using blank battle dice and using stickers, is that has significantly changed the game.
Yeah.
Because when you had multiple battle dice, like you could heal yourself twice, a 5 and a 10. Like you could have these multiple effects stacked.
Yeah.
That will never happen if you only use a one color die.
All right. Moving on.
But I say that because that might have been why the healer was always powerful in the game.
The healer can inflict an additional 3 damage.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
Next
one, heals 5.
Yeah. The next one, an additional 4 damage.
And now this is where the healer gets powerful.
Yep.
On the 4th power, the healer can heal 10.
Right, which is significant in this game. Then the healer can heal, cures themselves of being poisoned, which is one of the only characters that can do this. And so that's a powerful thing, just because no one else can do that.
And one thing I should point out, and I don't think I told you this either, is that I took away all of the alls. Because when we went down to 6 powers, is that it didn't make sense. But my suggestion is, and you can have like a house rule, a classroom house rule, is that if you are playing like a 2v2, like a cure should be able to cure anyone on your team.
You should be able to apply that to someone else. And I agree with that 100%.
Same with the heal.
Right. But what makes the healer powerful is that they are really hard to beat because they keep regenerating.
Right.
And then the last, which is such a good power, they heal themselves back to their starting HP.
So a one-time effect.
Right, but that's still like...
If you have 80 HP and you got down to 5 and you use this...
Yeah, it's just like...
Good luck.
Now, would you allow them to say, I don't want to use it right now?
It says, they get to pick when they get to use it.
Oh, once it's unlocked, they get to... Okay, so it's a one-time effect, but they unlock their heal anytime, and so,
But if they get knocked out...
And that's what makes the healer powerful, is essentially they have twice the HP as any other character if they can get to that level. They have the ability to have twice the HP as any other character.
We've seen battles, though, that the healer is down to 20.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, should I use my power or not? They don't use it, and then they get hit for 21.
Right.
And then they never got to use it.
The strategy. All right, moving on to the knight. What a cool character.
Well, it made the cover of the book.
Yeah. We did that on purpose. There's symbolism behind the knight, you know.
The white knight.
The white knight. That was purposeful, having the knight be the book's avatar. All right. The knight can re-roll one of their 6-sided die as the first power. And this is anytime you roll a 1 on your special ability die, you can go through and re-roll a 6-sided dice, which means you could re-roll your special ability die because it's a 1 at that point.
Yeah.
And use that damage. But would you then get the second effect if you re-roll that one? Like, let's say you had all of your stuff unlocked. Would you then, if you roll a 6, then get to use the...
I think if that's the one you pick to re-roll.
Yeah. Then that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool ability.
All right, next one. The knight's attack is an automatic hit. So even if your hit or miss die misses, but you roll this as one of your battle die, or you roll your 2, then it automatically.
So this is like for those of you who are Survivor fans, this is like the shot in the dark. It's like you missed, but then this 2 rolls, and you got a 1 in 6 chance of having that extra hit come back. The next one is...
I think this one's my favorite.
This is your favorite?
I think so.
Do you want to read it?
I do.
Okay.
It says, so the star power, If the knight's HP is 15 or less, the knight's attack dice do double the damage. So if I'm at 10, right, and I roll my dice, my attack dice, it's going to double.
Okay. That's like so.
But not the other ones.
Right. It's like once you're down below that, but that's an ongoing effect. So like if you stay below 15,
if you can't knock me out.
It's like the idea of the knight is like valiant at the end. They get this extra burst of energy at the end when things are looking the worst. I love it. All right. Continuing on with the knight, we have the knight can re-roll up to 3 of their 6-sided dice. That's a huge one. So if they rolled a 4 on their, and then they had 4 other battle dice, and they're all 1s, they could re-roll all those 1s. Yeah. Or they could roll this one in there and try to get another special ability. Like, there's so much you can do with this one. That one's fun.
All right, next one. The knight inflicts an additional 10 damage, but just so that everybody would realize is that 10 damage is not part of the double on their star power.
Oh, right. So it's not...
It's only the D6.
So if you were thinking of this as a math equation, it would be HP times 2 in parentheses plus 10.
Yep.
Yeah. I might put that equation up here. All right.
Did you put an equal sign?
Why? Why would there be an equal sign?
Because you said equation.
Oh, an expression. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. The knight inflicts 10 damage. We did that one. The knight cannot take damage from attack dice for 1 turn. So basically, they are an invincible.
Only for attack dice, though.
Oh, so they can take damage from special ability. Okay. So if they're fighting someone, a 1v1, and they roll a hit, and then they have a special ability happen, then they can take damage from that.
Yep.
Okay. The mage.
Or even like the normal just gray numbers. Like the additional 4 or the additional 6.
Right. That's what I mean. That's for sure. The mage.
See, I thought this was the most popular.
This was our magical character back in the day. You had to have resistance to be able to not like take damage from the mage. That was so complicated. All right.
I'm just going to go through the first 3 real fast.
Sounds good.
It's just an additional 3 damage, 4 damage, 5 damage.
Which sounds boring, but is very powerful in this game. Half your dice will add extra damage, which is huge. The next one is the meteor. On a miss only, the mage inflicts 10 damage by calling down a meteor. So if they miss, this adds 10 damage. It's kind of like the alchemist power, but only on a 1 in 6 chance of getting that to happen.
And the mage is so powerful because of this next power.
Yes.
The mage freezes all of the foe's attack dice next turn.
Yeah. So they can still roll or hit miss die and still like try to get one of these powers unlocked and use it, but they're frozen from using any of their other attack die for the rest of the turn. And
see, I think though that you don't get to roll the colored die because it's frozen.
Oh, so it's just skip a turn. All right, that's fine. And that's the beauty of being a game master is you get to decide what's most fun for your classroom.
I mean, that happens all the time in board games too.
For sure.
Like, I mean, there's forums about the whole thing.
Right. All right, the last one is the mage's star ability. The damage from a meteor happens on a hit as well as a miss. Explain this one.
So normally the meteor only happens when they miss the 10 damage, but now if the attack is a hit and they roll the meteor, everything counts. The attack dice and then the additional 10 from the meteor. So
the meteor is less likely because you have 2 conditions for it to happen. You have to miss and then hit the 4 on your special die. This would be anytime that 4 is rolled. that 10 damage is happening.
Yep.
So it's every 6 rolls, basically, you're going to hit someone for an extra 10.
I'm telling you, that freeze, that makes or breaks the mage.
The next character...
You just want to do the whole Mariner, Mr. Lamberson?
No.
Okay.
We shared the Alchemist.
All right.
The next character is near and dear to my heart. The Mariner. My character has... The first slot is the Mariner special ability. And this one is, I think, one of the coolest special...
It is the coolest, I think.
What this special ability does is it turns off other characters' special abilities. And so if you are the Alchemist and you have activated your special ability, and I don't want to spoil too much when our battle, but this came into play a little bit. Like, you had your special ability turned on, and the Mariner turned off your special ability. The Alchemist no longer gets to just do damage even on a miss because I've turned that off.
But then if I roll my star power again, then I turn it back on. But then if you do it again...
But if you think about, like, the Berserker... If their special ability is activated and they get to come back from the dead, basically, then that's gone. Or the Knight, that double power and the ability is gone. That ability to just turn that off is so cool. The only character that can do that.
All right, the next 2 are just additional damage, 4 and 6.
Yeah, and then this next ability is one that I came up with, which I love. We called it originally the Leech ability, but it... But the leeches are too hard to make into cool pictures. Like it's a tiny. It looks like a little poop. Yeah. So we call it the drain ability. But essentially, the idea is the Mariner, when this ability happens, takes 5 HP from their opponent and gives it to themselves. It's a pick 5. You lose 5 HP, I gain 5 HP. There's a 10 HP swing there. It is so fun. And the next one, go ahead.
The foe removes 1 attack die, a one-time effect, and it can't remove the only die. So one of the attack die is not given to the Mariner, it's just removed from the game.
But it's gone for the rest of the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
One time.
One time, you can remove an attack die, basically like hobbling them a little bit. You can't remove their special ability die.
Correct.
Yeah. Unless you want to make that part of the game.
No.
The
Mariner's already powerful.
See, unlike Mr. Becker, I don't mind making my personal character too powerful. I have no problem with that. I like having fun. Your Alchemist now is at least playable.
Oh, yeah.
The Mariner, the last one, is another leech power. I'm calling it a leech power because that's what I like. It's another leech power, but this is a 10 leech. So it's a pick 10. Like, that's a 20 HP swing. You lose 10, I gain 10. This is so powerful, but that's why it's level 60 power. Yeah. It is so powerful in this game, and it's so much fun. All right. Final character, Mr. Becker.
Last one. Also super good.
Oh.
All right. First 3, just additional damage, 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah. And we used to have the swordsmen used to be all these 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. They had no other power. And kids were like, that's dumb. But the kids who were sword masters were like, realized how powerful that actually was. And it was actually breaking the game a little bit. It was too powerful, but it's just not as much fun to see. Like, having it made your character more powerful, but that's not necessarily more fun. Having the neat special ability that does something unique is more fun. So we go then to a poison sword. Mm-hmm. So the sword master gets to poison. It's the same as a poison arrow or a vial of poison. But there's only 3 characters that get to poison other characters, and the sword master is one of them, which is one of the best abilities in this game.
And then the sword master's star power. Think like Link in Zelda. Like,
in Breath of the Wild. Like if...
the fireballs coming at you.
Yeah, or the laser beam from the Guardians, and he parries, and whoosh, and the laser beam goes back. And
so if all the foes' attack dice are even, then the damage is done to the foe and not the sword master.
Ooh,
that could just change the game.
I know. What a great ability. Imagine they rolled a Yahtzee of 6s.
I know. I know.
And be so happy, and then all of a sudden it's parried back to them. And
I love it.
Yeah, that one is so fun. And what a cool math problem built in there too for probability. Because it's like, okay, if you have one die, then that's a 50% probability of this happening.
Or even integers, like adding that negative 18.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But then you have two die, and then all of a sudden you only have a 25% chance of it happening. And so the more die, the less, but the more powerful it becomes, the more die that you have, which is a good, again, I'm going to pat ourselves on the back here. That's good game design.
Yeah.
All right.
That was good.
The last,
possibly the most powerful special ability or power in the game.
the next one, yeah, which is ×2. So this is the double damage power. So the Swords Master attack dice do double the damage. Not their special ability die. Again, this is ×2 and then plus. Well, no, there would be no plus on this. There's no way to add to this.
Correct.
Right.
And unless you were using battle dice.
Right. So this would just be, but still, this one is such a good power. And again, this is why it's the 6th power. And so when you get students who are really into these games and they get to level 60 and they get all of these unlocked, that's when these battles become the most fun.
And this is where the strategy comes in too. Like the Sword Master might put more into their attack dice.
Right. Because then, like, how many max stats kids did you have in a given year? Kids who just completely filled the whole sheet out and had nothing left to earn by the end of the year.
Probably 3.
Yeah, I was going to say 2. Like, not many. And so the majority of the class for the whole year is still deciding where they're going to put their resources within this game to try to maximize their character's power by the end of the year. Very few kids are going to be max statted.
Yeah. And I think if I were playing this again, one of the suggestions I would have for the teachers is, like, if you were giving bonuses out, whether you're playing the dungeon version that we have and they're opening treasure chests, or maybe it's a gold bonus, like every 1,000 gold, I would have most of the bonuses go towards a character's HP.
Yeah.
Because the battles are going to be more fun when the HPs are higher.
Yeah. So you give them like, oh, you get an additional 5 HP on your character's total HP ability, not just like a potion.
Like, instead of saying like, oh, you get to fill in 6 free squares, like I would say you get to fill in 6 HP.
And real quick before we wrap this up here, something that I want to talk about that is so easy. This is like the lowest hanging fruit possible for adding a complication to this game, which is to print off something or make a token that is a potion. It can be anything. It could be a poker chip that's a potion, and you give it to them, and then they get to use that within the game as they choose, and they have to buy those things, because having the potions adds this level of complication and strategy to the game that makes it just wildly more fun if kids have potions. Because then you end up with Johnny being like, Sarah, I need a potion. I'm about to, and then they're having like this bargaining like thing happen across the classroom. Like, I'm about to get knocked out. I have to bleep out the word because YouTube doesn't like that. Unalived is what they like to say.
Unalived.
Yeah, that's the thing that people say. But
that's why we always said knocked out.
We always said knocked out in our classroom. We didn't want to have that. We didn't want to have the vocabulary of being or things like that. I'm going to love this too because I'm definitely bleeping those in the podcast edit. It's one of my favorite things to do. But it's like, Sarah, I need a potion. She's like, that's potions for me later. And then they have this whole back. I'll give you.
See, I would though strongly recommend you do that right before the battle.
Yeah.
Don't do it during the battle.
No, for sure. It bogs it down, but it would happen. It would happen organically and be like, nope, we got to move on. But they'd be going into a battle and be like, I have no potions, and be like, can I borrow a potion? And things like that. Like,
and so, we capped the number of potions, I think, like 3. You can only bring 3 potions with you.
And we had different levels of potions. We had like
10, plus 15, but one was like max revive.
Heal all, yeah.
But also a cure card.
But again, I want to talk like a cure card, but these were things that were given out as like very special gifts for very special times. And that's one of the cool things about gamifying. If you're doing like your district testing, for example, like our district uses STAR test, it used to use MAP test. Every district does some sort of district testing. Say it's iReady. You have these benchmarks that you want kids to hit. And in order for that to happen, they have to give effort. And so an easy way to do that is to make only way you can earn this advantage is by doing this XYZ on this test. And for us, it was two things. It was either making a certain amount of growth, and so that would be like student growth percentage, or a certain percentile on that test. If either of those conditions are met,
or both.
But if either of those conditions are met, you can earn this special advantage in the game, but only if either of those conditions are met. And it really is fair, because the kid who's really at like the 99th percentile oftentimes isn't going to make that growth metric because it's just too difficult. And the student who's at the 20th percentile isn't going to make the achievement metric because the gap is too wide. So this allows the ability for the teacher to say to reward both students for giving their best on that day, and it's only earned at this time.
This is going to go down a completely different route here.
All right.
Do you remember that last year what we gave out for the state test in terms of the game rewards?
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
Do you remember why?
Yeah, I do. We talked to the class about this, and we said, hey, listen, we had played this year-long classroom game in which we have given you all of these rewards for learning, but this is the end of the year, and you get to now prove to everyone and show everyone what you have learned. And the reward is your achievement and your sense of accomplishment and your success.
Because there's critics of this whole idea, and they'll say, nope, once you take the rewards away, the kids aren't going to perform.
Yeah.
And the kids performed.
They performed. I had the best scores of my career. My students had the best scores of my career. I didn't have the scores. And that's something I need to point out. Like, I didn't do anything. I did as far as like I'm a teacher and I put in the, but they're the ones who showed up.
You gamified your classroom.
I did, but they're the ones who did the work and showed up and performed. And so it's like, I'm a manager on a sports team. I'm not out there swinging the bat.
Right.
I'm in the dugout
coaching,
but the kids have to show up and they have to perform on the day of. And this is a way to help facilitate that. But then when it came down to the highest stakes test that we had, we said nothing.
And that validated a lot for me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we can have fun and I can incentivize all your learning.
Right.
But I can almost guarantee that that feeling inside of these students at the end of the year, they don't need it.
Right.
They didn't need another token.
Nope.
Because they felt accomplished.
Right.
And now, because you believed in them, they were going to show it.
Yep. And they did. It was a bit of a gamble.
I know. Because, people look at state test scores.
For sure. And, I judge my own performance on that. Like, I judge, and I'm not, like, trying to, like, hold myself up to a standard of, like,
it's not only the state test.
Right. There's a lot of things that I judge. I gave student surveys and things like that I really value, but I judge my performance based off of those, and there's a lot riding on that for me personally, and to turn that over was a lot of being like, okay, I believe in this thing so much, I believe in these kids so much that I'm going to say, like, there's no reward, and they showed up in a big way.
I know.
Yeah,
that was so cool.
Yeah, I agree. All right, I don't have a quote prepared for today. I barely had a quote prepared for last time.
Well, you had half a quote.
Yeah. I need to be better prepared for these things. I will say, though, I'm glad the technology was working today very well. So, Mr. Becker, you have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time.
Very good.